Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast, episode 120. 1/5 of a way to episode 200. Very exciting. Now, I here come to you today and bring fantastic news. Fantastic, amazing, wonderful news about the wonderful city of Austin, Texas. A wonderful, proud city of America that has no flaws. No flaws. It's the perfect paradise here. There's never been a place that even comes close to Austin, Texas. Okay? And with that, comes great responsibility. I don't know where I'm going with this. But what I'm trying to say is, with this wonderful, perfect place, Austin, Texas, there is a serial killer supposedly running around the streets of Austin, Texas, killing, and this isn't confirmed by the police, okay? And I have an article here. It was uploaded today. Here, let me pull this up for you. God fucking damn it, you suck ass. Okay, there we go. It's up for you. You can look at it. It's right there. Austin police knock down Lady Bird Lake serial killer theory. Okay, that's a mouthful. After recent deaths. Now, I don't know about you, but if the police isn't sure that there's a serial killer running around murdering people, because that's the other thing, people love to kill themselves in Lady Bird Lake. That's the other problem here, is that people love, I'm almost there. I'm not going to lie. I'm this close to going down, stabbing myself, and making it look like the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. I'm not kidding here, okay? Because this is a big problem, though, is that there are a lot of homeless people in Austin, Texas. A lot of people have guns. There's a lot of mental illness. And there's also a gorgeous lake that's probably not a bad place to die in. It's definitely not the worst place. There are worse places to commit suicide than Lady Bird Lake. So when we're talking about these bodies randomly coming up, you have to also take into the fact that we live in the best city of all time in all America, in all human history of civilization ever. And we have a lot of mental illness, though, as well. So people might want to kill themselves in the gorgeous lake that we have here. It's not even a lake. I don't know why people call it a lake. On Saturday, the body of a 33-year-old Jonathan Honey was recovered from the lake located near downtown Austin. Honey, originally from the Washington, D.C. area, was reported missing Friday after attending a bachelor party Thursday night in Rainey Street District. This comes after the body of a 30-year-old Jason John was found in the lake in February after he had been spending an evening with friends on Rainey Street. A third body was recovered in March, but the police haven't said who the victim was. So, I would like to know if these guys were single. If these guys were happily married, supposedly happily, what did they look like? Did they have acne? Okay? Do you know how bad it is to wake up every day and see zits on your face? It's nice that we live in the most wonderful place of Austin, Texas, in the best city of all time ever that's never existed any before. But it's weird, it still hurts when you wake up and you see acne on your face, even though you live in Austin, Texas, the greatest city of all time. But you just, you have to take in these different considerations. And also, my big point on this is, why would there be a serial killer in Austin, Texas, right? Like what? Who are you killing? Who are you killing? Failed comedians and failed musicians? How many of those can you find and kill? How many podcasters are you going to kill? Really? How many? Because there's a lot here. There has to be a decent amount of podcast. Like, what is the percent? Like, I wonder what the percentage is of people in Austin, Texas, who have been on a podcast, know somebody who hosts a podcast, or is just a podcast host. How many of those people can you kill, really? And also, if you do decide to kill me, do it while I'm recording a podcast. Okay, can I have that at least? Can you please kill me while I'm recording a podcast? Like, you stalk me, because you're a serial killer. You know what you're doing. Stalk me, figure out what my time schedule is. I'll start leaving the windows open in my house so you can find out. And then, while I'm recording, mid-session, sneak up on me. That door's right there. Just open it and just slit my throat. Just slit my throat right open. And then maybe this podcast will blow up. Maybe then at that moment, the podcast will actually gain some momentum. Now, I will be dead, so there is that. Like, upload it for me, though. So before you kill me, let me show you. I'll give you a whole tutorial. So, like, right before you kill me, I'll show you what you need to do to stop the podcast recording. Upload it to YouTube. Upload it to Anchor. Of course, my Spotify listeners. I don't have any. I need this to be filmed if I am going to die by a serial killer. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go back to the article because I'm running out of things to spew out of my mouth. This comes after the body of a 30... Blah, 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 blah. I already read that. The lake has experienced a number of similar deaths over the last decade. Of course, these people are killing themselves, and also there's a lot of murderers in Austin, Texas, the greatest city that's ever lived. But due to the similarity of these two recent deaths, many have taken to social media to express their concerns about the possibility of a serial killer, someone they call the Lady Bird Lake serial killer or the Rainy Strait serial killer. You think, serial killers ever get mad about their name? I would. Okay? I would like to be called the Kpush podcast serial killer, or the Kpush serial killer. It has a little ring to it, The Lady Bird... Say this 5 times fast, seriously. Lady Bird Lake serial killer, 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 Lady Bird Lake serial killer. I don't know, I wouldn't like that. That's what I would be concerned about, aside from murdering people, of course. But aside from, that would be my second biggest concern. Getting caught by the police would be my third, I think. A private Facebook group called Lady Bird Lake Serial Killer / Rainy Strait Serial Killer has gained almost 38,000 members since it formed in February 14th. The conspiracy theories are especially rampant on TikTok. Austin Police Department released a public announcement on the best way to release information ever, Twitter. So the APD, Austin Police Department, says the Austin Police Department is aware of the speculations regarding the recent drownings in the Lady Bird Lake. Although these cases are still under under investigation and evidence is being analyzed at this time, there's no evidence in any of these cases to support allegations of foul play. Exactly. They fucking killed themselves. Why wouldn't you? And in the greatest city of all time that's never been around ever before in the United States history or in the human race history. While each incident has occurred at the lake, the circumstances, exact locations, and demographics surrounding the cases vary. Our investigations approach every case with an open mind and objectivity, examine all available evidence. We work closely with the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office, which conducts parallel investigation into all deaths. The medical examiner performs autopsies in each of these types of death investigations. The results of these autopsies have not revealed any trauma to the bodies nor indication of foul play. One common theme of the drownings... No, I don't need you... What? Windows is... They want... Are you seriously asking for a fucking update right now? Fuck off. Oh my God. Go kill yourself. One comment of the theme of the drownings in Austin this year is the combination of alcohol and easy access to Lady Bird Lake, which has numerous access points. Many of the access points can be challenging to see at night. The parks in which most of these drownings occurred at the park areas were close at 10 p.m. and occur after the park closes. We advise the public to follow the rules on park closures. So, the Austin Police Department, like, there's a lot of people saying in Austin, Texas, that, you know, we think that there's a serial killer running around and killing people, and Austin Police Department responds with, well, follow the rules and stop being fucking alcoholics. That's their solution, which isn't a bad one. I must say they might be onto something here, because it is, again, greatest city of all time ever to ever exist. No competition, no argument, Austin, Texas. But because of the fact that there's a lot of people like me down here, quite frankly, who are, you know, failed comedians, podcasters, and failed musicians, there is a lot of alcohol associated with that. I'm not going to lie, I'm buzzed right now. I'm a little buzzed right now. I took half a shot before the podcast. So, the police department might be onto something, but this topic I'm getting tired of talking about, so let's move on, shall we? Can we please move on? What else? What else is going on here in Austin, Texas? Okay, I want to fucking kill myself. Okay, I don't know if I came on a little too strong there. I think I came on a little too strong. But there's no easy way of saying that publicly to the internet, but I've been very, very down these past couple of days. I haven't been feeling like myself. My depression is slowly setting back in. It's here. It's staying. I don't know how long. You never know how long about these things. But, I mean, it's here. It's happening. And it sucks. It's not something I wish upon anybody, except if I don't like you. It's a really hard thing to get up and, you know, in the greatest city of all time that's never not been the greatest city of all time. It's just, I'm very depressed. I'm seriously, this isn't I'm being as serious as I can be on here. I'm very depressed. I've been very depressed. I'm out of a job. I'm employed, but my job doesn't start until May, and so I have a whole nother month of being unemployed. There's a lot of problems with my roommates I can't get into because it'll make an awkward situation at hand, but I'm struggling a lot with that, and I can't get into it on this podcast, and it makes me very uncomfortable that there is a thing bothering me in my life that I cannot get into on this podcast. Because for the past 2 years, if something's been bothering me, especially during that time where I would just private the videos, because there's a time on this podcast where I was very nervous that someone at the high school that I was going to, because I had this podcast during high school, so I was very worried that someone from my high school was going to see my videos and that they were gonna, I mean, you're listening now, right? I mean, I'm still me. It wasn't good, okay? Can we just say that? And it might not have been PG-13. It might not have been child appropriate. So I was very concerned about that. So I decided to just private all my podcasts. I recorded probably once a month. I didn't record nearly as much as I did when, it was active. But nevertheless, I privated all my videos. I was still recording. But during that time, I was able to go into, very things I probably shouldn't have been talking about on a podcast, but because of the fact that they were all private, no one was watching. Literally no one was watching. Like, there wasn't a chance of anybody watching. Like, now nobody watches, but it's because it's their choice not to watch. But at the end of the day, it's weird now that there are things that I can't discuss on here. But especially things that are making me extraordinarily depressed. And I've been having a hard time keeping up with this podcast. And I will talk about one thing, though. My buddy Dom is, he's a fucking moron. He's been on this podcast too many times. And he's just a fucking moron. I don't know if I can fully describe to you how much of a fucking moron Dominic is, and living with him every day makes you want to become the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. And I can't stand it. I'm almost to my breaking point with this dude. Like, if he come, because, all right, so he's in Massachusetts, and he was there for a week, and he said that he was going to come back, obviously, after a week. That's how a trip works. And so we had something very, very important to do when he got back, and we were talking about it while he was in Massachusetts, about the important thing that we had to do, and I'm making it sound like we were going to have anal sex or something. Like, I don't like the way I'm phrasing this right now, but there's no other way to phrase it, so I'll say anal sex, though, just for the bit. So me and Dominic were planning on having anal sex. I like that. I'm going to stick with it. So me and Dominic were planning on having anal sex when he got back from Massachusetts. And he calls me, a day before he gets back and goes, yeah, I'm not coming back. After he's been talking to me about going back to Mass permanently, he's randomly deciding to stay in Massachusetts for another week. He also has my phone charger. I don't know why he decided to take, one of my chargers to Massachusetts without asking me, and then decided to stay there for an extra week. It's a little annoying. That's slightly, it's slightly not normal. Can I say that, at least? Can I say that probably isn't normal? But, he calls me a day before we're planning on having anal sex, and he says that he's not coming back. And the way he brought it up was such an asshole, too. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I was on the phone with my buddy Gio. He's been on the podcast. My buddy John, he's also been on the podcast. And we were talking over, FaceTime. And Dom calls me to tell me that he's not coming back, and decides that it's probably a good idea to let me add him to the FaceTime call. And then when I talk to him about having anal sex again tomorrow, he goes, yeah, I'm not coming back. Like, bro, you're just gonna leave me hanging with anal sex? You fucking piece of shit. You absolute cunt. Like, this is why I'm fucking so depressed right now and I want to kill myself. Is because Dominic had the nerves to call me a day before we planned on having anal sex. We've been planning on having anal sex forever. In fact, he's wanted to have anal sex. We've had full arguments about how he wanted to have anal sex before he left for Massachusetts. He wanted to have anal sex with me. And we had full arguments about when we should and shouldn't have anal sex. And we came it arrived. That sounded worse. It came to the day before we're supposed to have anal sex. And he had the balls to call me and tell me that we're not going to have anal sex. And again, I'm not even going to explain it. No. But again, this is why I'm so depressed. This is why I am so depressed. I'm suicidal. And also, I want to become the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. That's me. That's me. And, you know, the one thing, though, I will say this. This is probably the saddest part about this story. The only reason I'm not going to kill myself is because of comedy. That's it. And I'm not, again, however serious I can get on this podcast, that I'm being serious about this. The one thing keeping me going every single day is going to open mics and getting like 3 people to laugh at my jokes. That's enough. That's it. That's what's keeping me going, is the dream that I have to tell dick jokes on stage. That's it. That's the only thing. If I didn't do that, I'd be drowning in Lady Bird Lake. Okay, dude? I would not fucking be here, okay? I don't want to keep doing this every single day, but it's worth it in one day, hoping that I can tell dick jokes on stage. And that is the saddest part about this story, okay? Is that dream, and it's not like, it's, what a fucking loser, right? Like, I just feel like a fucking loser. But you don't understand when comedians talk about, like, you don't know what it's like when you're sleeping, you know, on your friend's couch or whatever the fuck, and you're going to sets every single night, but it's worth it because you're just getting that set time. You don't understand that, because I'm only 8 months into this thing, okay? And I already feel like that. I'm only 8 months in, and I'm like, I gotta see how this plays out. I gotta see. I can't even murder on purpose yet. I don't even have 15 jokes that work, but I'm 8 months in, so, and fucking, I don't know why I keep going. I don't know why. You know, like, some people think I'm funny. I don't believe them. Okay? Like Derek Dimful and Tim Warner, they think I'm funny. I don't believe these people. I don't think I'm funny. I can't make people laugh. What are you even talking about? I don't even know what that means. So, but I have to believe them. You understand what I'm saying? Is that, like, even though I truly don't think that I can ever be a comedian, I have to try. And because the fact, if I don't, I die. So, or I join a Mexican drug cartel. Those are the only, or I become the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. That's it. Those are my 3. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. What else do I have on here? Okay, well, let's keep going with I don't know why I opened that water. I have a water open. Anyway, let's get into the Trump thing. Let's do that. That will be fun. That will be exciting to talk about Donald Trump again. Aren't you fucking sick of this? Like, can somebody please be fucking sick and tired of talking about Trump? I am so sick about hearing about this guy. I can't fucking handle it anymore. I became conscious, right? So you gotta think about this. 2016, back in the old days of 2016, you gotta remember, I was fucking 12, okay? 12 is when you kind of start paying attention. Not really, though, okay? So you're kind of paying attention. You're like, what's a presidential election? Like, what is that, I guess? And who are the people? It's Hillary and Trump. And you don't know what any of that means, really. But you know that it's happening. And people care about it. But you don't know what, like, it means. But it's going on. It's happening around you. You don't know what it means. And this, you just got to kind of think about 12. You're getting your dick gets hard every hour. Every 30 minutes, your dick is hard. It doesn't make any sense. You're masturbating in the middle school bathroom. At least I was. And you have to... It's not fun. So, but you have to think about what it is being a 12-year-old boy, okay? You're horny, you're mad, nothing makes any sense. And also, you know, I was a white privileged kid, so I didn't know what adversity meant yet. So, and also I was depressed. I was highly depressed. It was the first time that depression had ever hit me. So, 12 is weird, okay? The age of 12 years old is a very strange time, okay? And during that year, that's the year everybody got obsessed with Donald Trump, okay? And since 12, I'm 19, about to turn 20. Do you remember 12 and you thinking about 18? Yeah, it seemed like it was never going to happen. It seemed like, well, I don't need to pay attention to the presidential elections because I don't even participate in it, and I won't forever. I'm not going to participate. I still probably won't participate because, I mean, the choices are fucking absurd, but also who has fucking time to participate in your democracy? I gotta get paid, bitch. I got a podcast to record, okay? I gotta escape the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. So, so 12, when you're 12, 18 seems fucking forever. I'm 19 now, and we're still talking about the same guy. The same guy. And what are we talking about with Trump now? Since I was 12. Are we saying anything new about Trump? What is the big discussion with Donald Trump? Tax fraud. Seven years. 7 fucking years. 7 fucking years. Does anybody get tired? Really? Like, aren't people trying to raise children? What about Zumba classes? Or yoga classes? Where do Pilates? Go out and get a smoothie. Stop talking about Trump's taxes. Please, for the love of God. And I don't care. And I'm not smart enough to know what the right decision is. Again, I'm a 19-year-old fucking idiot who was 12 7 years ago. But in those 7 years, you dumb fucks still haven't been able to figure out Donald Trump's taxes. So please, somebody, I can't be the mature one here. Don't make me be the mature one on a podcast that nobody listens to. Please don't make me do that. Move on. Whatever it is, I don't care anymore. Move on. We have to move on. Okay? The Ukraine is going on. And that kind of just started. When you're thinking about the comparisons, I mean, obviously it didn't just start. It's been going on for a year now, whatever the fuck. But when you when you think about in the comparison of how long we've been talking about Donald Trump, 7 good long fucking years. 7 good years. And it wasn't like we started talking about him in 2016. No, he started running in 2015. So really it's like 8 years. Really it's like 8 fucking years. We just can't get over the dude with the orange mask on. It's so insane. It's so this obsession with Trump, I think, like, people want to talk about, the mental health problems in America, right? Like school shootings, suicide rates, drug overdoses, Lady Bird Lake serial killer. But at the end of the day, this obsession we have with Trump is hands down the most telling of how mentally ill we are. How mentally ill we are. It should take 2 months to figure out Donald Trump's taxes. If that. Look at the dude's papers. Look at his fucking bank accounts. It's over. It's done. 8 years. 8 years. And I don't even know what's going on. I seriously don't even know what's going on. I know people are upset, and this is what my problem is, that I did research, and by research I meant I Googled the word Donald Trump into Google, and I looked through like 7 different articles in, 15 minutes or something like that. But at the end of it, and you go, Chris, that's not journalism. You're not a fucking journalist. You didn't do research. Yes, you are right about that. Absolutely, 110%. I'm not a fucking journalist, and don't ever fucking put that label on me, because I never wanted it. But anybody with a podcast has to have the credits of journalism now. I'm fucking 19. I'm stupid as fuck. I don't know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, it's not that far off from the rest of the country. Okay? Doing 15 minutes of research on, and I listened to Breaking Point's Jaeger. Still don't know how to pronounce it. Never will. It's okay. Jaeger. Talked about this and basically went over something about a porn star and how back in 2005 he basically, it was Stormy Daniels, apparently. I guess it is Stormy. He paid Stormy Daniels to fuck Stormy Daniels or do something with her along the lines. Maybe it was just a lap dance. I don't know. I don't imagine Trump is only getting a lap dance, though. So I'm assuming, God, he probably took that bitch down to his sex dungeon. But he paid Stormy Daniels and apparently charged it through the company's credit card or something along those lines, and then labeled it under paying employees or something like that. But that doesn't sound that off. Right? He did hire her. Or maybe it was like under resources or something. But she is a resource. And he is using that resource. And he is a part of the company. If you have, and this is going to be a stretch, but, go with me on it. If a company has health care, right? And like, right? You see where I'm going. Just hold on. Hold on. I feel the audience backing away. Don't. Listen, if you have health care and someone has problems with their back, where do they tell them to go? Go to the masseuse. Go to the chiropractor. I mean, chiropractors aren't even real doctors. And healthcare through companies will pay for that. Why can't you pay for a prostitute through the company? I don't see a problem with that. Listen, if the Kpush podcast starts to become a company, you damn well bet I'm paying for strippers and bitches to come over through the company. Damn well bet. You fucking know. You better fucking know. If I ever run a company, we get like strippers once a month on the company. I mean, let's fucking go. It supports morale, okay? It provides good morale for the company. Fucking bitches through company credit cards is important for the morale of a company. It's important. I don't know what to tell you. It's important. We need it to happen. It needs to keep happening. But people are upset about this, right? I don't get it. I don't know why they would be. But I don't even know if that's really what's going on. That's what I got from Jaeger. That's what I got from Jaeger telling me, okay? On Breaking Points and on Flagrant too, which is a very, and me and Andrew Schultz, we have very similar levels of intelligence, so it was good to hear him ask the questions and it was sort of digestible, but also, I'm a fucking moron still, so I still didn't really get it, and I was making stew while listening. So, I listened to Jaeger talk about it on Flagrant, I listened to him talk about it on Breaking Points, and I did 15 minutes of research. I still don't know what's fully going on, which definitely 110% means at least 50% of all of America has no fucking idea what's going on. No idea. They literally don't have any idea what's going on. And you can't convince me fucking otherwise. If I don't even know the real gist of the story after doing 15 minutes of work and listening to two different podcasts on the same subject, and I'm not saying that I'm smart, right? I'm not saying, I think that a smart person probably after doing that would know the gist of what's going on. But we're talking about average Americans. Average Americans are dumb as fuck. They're dumb as fuck as me, okay? And if you're listening to this podcast, you're definitely dumb as fuck. So, in no fucking chance in hell does anybody really know what's going on. I mean, look at what Fox. Seriously, look at what Fox. God fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. There we go. Okay. Look at what Fox has to say about this. This is what Fox says. What's going on? The investigation into Trump was opened in 2019. Then Manhattan District Attorney's Cyrus Vince. The probe was focused on the possible bank, insurance and tax fraud. Jaeger says, the Stormy Daniels. The case intentionally involved financial dealings of Trump's Manhattan properties, including the flagship Fifth Avenue building, Trump Tower, and the valuation of his 213-acre estate, Seven Springs in Westchester. And then it says, last year the investigation led to tax fraud charges. The Trump Organization, its finance chief of Alan Weasel, blah, 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 whatever. That's what Fox says happened, okay? Was that anything? Was that any information at all to the case and what's actually going on? Everybody knows, this is what everybody knows, is that Trump got filed for tax fraud. Did anybody know why? What the tax fraud is exactly? Does anybody fucking understand that at all? Because Fox didn't fucking tell us shit. And the rest of the article is just about how he got a new fucking attorney. Like, okay. Why did he get filed for tax fraud? Before we're covering the attorneys of the case, can we know what the case is? This was several articles, all about the same thing. They would talk about the fucking lawyers or fucking who's suing who or fucking what the status of the thing is. But no one's saying what it actually, like, what it is. And Yager said it's about Stormy Daniels. So I gotta go with him, okay? It's about Stormy. It's about my bitch Stormy over here, okay? And if it is about real estate, you know, going back to my point, maybe they needed to make, you know, a statue of them fucking. That sounds something like Trump would want, okay? Trump would want a statue of Trump fucking Stormy Daniels. How does a sculptor know what that looks like if Trump doesn't fuck Stormy Daniels? The sculptor needs to, you know, have an image present for him to capture an image. Does he not? I bet that that's what's going on. I bet if you go into Donald Trump's sex dungeon, which he has one, there is a fucking statue of him fucking Stormy Daniels. And you might be saying, does a company need a sex dungeon? And I will say Donald Trump's company does. So, let's move on. That's a good place to wrap that topic up. I don't care. I don't care anymore, anything. I don't care about Donald Trump. Please stop fucking talking about him. Please. So, now, that was a lot. Right, that was a lot. There's a lot of sad things we just talked about. A lot of heavy, emotional things. Like Trump fucking Stormy Daniels. And I needed something, you know, something more not depressing as fuck. I needed something to, you know, get my spirits up. You know, because I've been down. I said this already. The Lady Bird Lake serial killer. Which, by the way, okay, blow this podcast up. Because the serial killer thing, I want to take a quick moment. I'm going to get into the other bit. But I want to stop here. I'm going to forget this. The thing with the Lady Bird Lake serial killer, it does change one and one thing only. You need to blow this podcast up, okay? I'm not dying from the Lady Bird Lake serial killer with an unsuccessful podcast, quite frankly. I don't want that. But going back over to my other topic, the Lady Bird Lake serial killer, the Trump, anything with Trump pisses me off. Me being depressed was a topic. A lot of depressing things. A lot of heavy, depressing things. And I needed something to boost morale. This podcast just can't be shit. It needs to have a little happy ending. Just a little... What do they call it? Sweet and sour? Bittersweet ending? It needs a bittersweet ending. Okay, so I went out. I Googled one word only, news. And after I scrolled through the thousands and thousands of articles just about Trump, I stumbled upon, quite frankly, the happiest article that you can come by nowadays. Tornado outbreak and forecast days after severe storms killed dozens. It's good. It's good. Happy story, right? I think that this is way happier than the other stories. I think it's more simple. It's more fun, right? It's a happy story. Only 12. It only killed 12. Only killed a dozen. Oh, it says dozens. Only killed dozens. What? Dozens is 2. 2? We're talking about 24 people. Only killed 24 people. A classroom of people. Okay? Whatever. It could be worse. It could have been 50. Could have been 100. There could have been 2 tornadoes. It was just 1 tornado. And this is what we need. We need more of this. Okay? We need more of this. We need more happy stories. Because quite frankly, everything else is way too fucking depressing. And also, being killed by a tornado sounds better than being killed by the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. For real. Am I wrong? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Why is he walking around like that? But anyway, it's just sad that, you really have to, you do. This is something that, you have to do, is you have to really look for these happy articles. And it's sad because I feel like, people always want to talk about back in my day. I think back in, whatever that means, whatever back in the day means, and what is it? Severe storms could even reach far south as Austin, Texas, and Dallas, and as far as Chicago, Milwaukee, and Green Bay, Wisconsin. Look, I hope I died through a tornado, okay? I'd rather die by a tornado than the Lady Bird Lake serial killer, okay? I hope this tornado comes through. I hope it comes through right fucking now while we're on the podcast. I want to be killed on the podcast. I think that'd be so funny. Look, wind speeds ranging from only, right? They forgot the only 136 to 165. That's nothing. I'm flying my kite in that. Come on. That's nothing. But it's just sad that, where was it? Where was it? Tornado outbreak. Where is it? Bringing where was the storm? The Rocky Mountains in South? No, that's not. It's not. See, it's not telling me where it is, but I had a punchline set up. Where I'm confused. Why can't I see where it is? Residents reeling from the tornado damage. Right, but where are the residents from? Well, they don't even want to tell me where it's from, but it's in the South, so, fuck these people. They probably deserve to die anyways, or they're going to be killed by the Lady Bird Lake serial killer. Okay, everybody, I think that is time. I'm out of topics. Hopefully that was a nice, sweet, fun ending for you there to end on. Only a couple dozen. Only a couple dozen killed in the tornado. So, episode 120, that was that. I'll see you for 121. And, goodbye.